The developers of the Stryker had a simple description for their creation: a combat armored vehicle that can operate in snow, mud, and sand. But Ukraine's infamous black soil and brutal weather can prove that America's infantry carrier vehicle Stryker isn't perfect. Of course, that's a downside. Tracked vehicles handle swampy ground better. Still, the wheeled chassis gives you wild speed, and maneuverability no tracked machine can match. On roads or across fields, we're doing a steady 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. Push it hard, and you can confidently hit 100. That kind of speed and agility lets a Stryker crew hunt enemy infantry in a rather strange way. You'll find out why they had to do it like that. Spoiler, it's also because of a Stryker flaw. But for now, please hit the like button so more people can see what American hardware is really dealing with on the battlefield against a strong opponent. Let's go. So, it looks like the Stryker's creators thought of everything. 8x8 formula, modular armor, we'll talk more about that later, a powerful remote-controlled turret, integrated sensors for detecting threats. But the manufacturer probably didn't expect this machine to end up in Vovchansk, currently one of the hottest zones on the planet. In Vovchansk, our main missions were delivering infantry to positions and simultaneously evacuating the dead and wounded. Vovchansk is about 5 kilometers from the border between Russia and Ukraine. After a sudden Russian assault, Ukrainian airborne troops quickly moved out to intercept. Stryker has a hydraulic ramp, convenient for loading and unloading troops, and for carrying out certain specific tasks. With this ramp, it's really easy to load or unload the squad. Within just a few hours, Ukrainian forces had pushed the Russians back and taken up positions in the streets. But what came next turned the city into a trap for the Ukrainian Strykers. Urban roads are a nightmare. When a shell hits the asphalt or explodes nearby, shrapnel flies everywhere. It scatters across the road. We've had runs where we lost 3 or 4 tires in one go. Let's be honest, changing a tire under fire is basically suicide. But the Stryker's wheels have some clever features that make life easier for the crew. A small puncture? No problem. The central tire inflation system can fix that without even stepping outside. But if the wheel's got a gaping hole in it, that's where another technology kicks in. Each Stryker tire contains a rigid polymer insert that supports the vehicle's weight even with 0 air pressure. With it, the Stryker can keep moving for 20 to 80 kilometers, depending on terrain. There were plenty of times our tires were blown out, but we always kept moving. Once we got to safety, we could change a tire in minutes, just 2 of us, and be back in action. From experience, these vehicles keep driving even on blown tires, or without any tires at all. Just look at this Stryker. 4 out of 8 wheels are destroyed. These aren't just rubber donuts. They're true pieces of battlefield engineering. But even that isn't always enough to save the vehicle. It's painful to see what a Stryker looks like after combat, but this vehicle isn't built to survive the battle. It's built to protect the driver, gunner, and the 9 infantry riding inside, so they can make it out alive. Of course, there's something worse than shrapnel. A TM mine is a f***ing nightmare. It completely immobilizes the vehicle. TM stands for tank mine, Soviet anti-tank classics. They trigger when something heavy rolls over them. Inside anywhere from 5 to 10 kilograms of explosives. That's more than enough to wipe out a Stryker. Back in Iraq and Afghanistan, it turned out that improvised explosives could rip straight through the bottom of early model Strykers. The original M1126 from the early 2000s had flat bellies like fashion models. And that flat bottom? It was their Achilles heel. Later versions of the Stryker were upgraded with a V-shaped hull. Underneath, they added shock-absorbing elements, reinforced beams, and blast-resistant seats mounted to the frame, not the floor. That upgrade made the vehicle about 2 tons heavier, from 17 to 19 tons, but far safer for the crew and passengers. The vehicle's hull is metal, but the armor is modular composite. If a section is damaged, it can be removed and replaced. Check out this shrapnel damage. It looks completely different from hits on standard armor. That's the fibrous structure of composite plates. God, do these fibers even stop anything? The metal ceramic plates can stop 7.62 and 5.45 rounds. Those are like scratches to this armor. But RPGs or ATGMs, They punch through and the vehicle burns. Damaged plates or panels can be replaced in the field. No need to strip the whole machine. But if the vehicle catches fire, can you survive inside a burning Stryker? There's an automatic fire suppression system inside. Sensors detect the flames, and cylinders release a fire retardant mixture through the nozzles. And if that system fails, there's a manual backup. You flip the lever and trigger suppression by hand. We haven't found any confirmed cases of this system being used under real combat conditions yet. So if any defense contractor wants to find out what their machines are really capable of, they need to send them to fight in Vovchansk. Before we move on to the Stryker's weapons, please subscribe to the channel. Let more people hear the war firsthand, not through press clippings. Thank you. So, the Stryker comes in all sorts of variants. It's like Lego for soldiers. Look at this stylish Stryker with a laser on top. Pew pew. All the drones are toast. In Vovchansk, that fancy Stryker wouldn't last 5 minutes. Unless the Russians were so stunned by the look they forgot they were at war. So, which Strykers has Ukraine received? So far, 3 versions are confirmed. M1133, Medical Evacuation Vehicle for pulling out the wounded. M1132, Engineer Squad Vehicle for clearing obstacles, detecting and disabling mines. M1126, Infantry Carrier Vehicle, the main version used. There are also rumors about command or recon variants, but nothing confirmed publicly. The standard Stryker uses the M151 Protector RWS remote weapon station with either a .50 caliber Browning M2 or an M240 machine gun. We roll up, blast away with everything we've got, then get the hell out. The weapon station can also carry the MK19 grenade launcher, but in this war, the Browning M2 has become the Stryker's signature weapon. 12.7 millimeters. That's a big caliber. Most people just freak out when we open up. The .50 cal punches through light armor, shreds drones, vehicles, shelters, even unfriendly helicopters. We've covered the MA Deuce in several other videos, so we won't repeat its legendary status here. Instead, let's look at how it performs specifically on the Stryker. The Protector RWS has optics, thermal imaging, and a laser rangefinder. It can see day, night, fog, you name it. It's even gyro-stabilized, so the sight stays rock steady even while the Stryker's bouncing across craters. The system is also equipped with thermal smoke to help cover a retreat, or any op that needs it. Everything's run from a control panel. The gunner has a screen. All this makes it possible to land a first-shot hit. And if the weapon station fails, you can switch to manual mode and still operate it. Yeah, but that guy's a trainer. He teaches people how to use the system. Whether it actually works like that in real combat? Well, that's another question. A single box of 200 rounds? Not enough. If you let off a burst, you've got maybe 30 or 40 seconds of fire. A firefight is expected to last 5 to 10 minutes. But even a short engagement burns through more than 200 rounds. Can you reload quickly with a big ammo stock? Hold up, there's a catch. To reload, you have to get out. And when the gunner's up top, I'm on pins and needles, praying he doesn't get shot. That's the worst case scenario. So let's wish this crew some luck. How do Ukrainian troops solve the low ammo issue? Usually we go in with 2 or 3 vehicles. When one Stryker runs dry, another moves up and lays down fire, while the first falls back to a safe distance to reload and return. If the fight drags on for 30 minutes, that's no longer a skirmish. That's a mini-war. Everything that flies and explodes gets called in, and enemy artillery starts turning the battlefield into a garden of craters, so it's usually better to pull out. But there are exceptions. Remember that clip from the start of this video? Yeah, that Stryker's gunner literally ran out of ammo. While the driver was chasing a Russian infantryman, the gunner went cowboy, firing his personal rifle from the hatch. Too bad he doesn't have gyro stabilization. Now let's ask the real question. What would these guys change about the Stryker? Man, I'd slap a bigger gun on here. Or even 2. That'd be awesome. Of course, boys and their toys always want a bigger cannon. But the M1128 Stryker MGS mobile gun system actually exists. It's got a stabilized 105mm rifle tank gun, the M68A1E4, with a muzzle brake and autoloader. Rate of fire 6 rounds per minute. It can knock out modern tanks from the side and rip older tanks right through the front. Boom. People say the gun's a bit of a diva, prone to breakdowns. But Ukraine's army is used to fixing ancient gear on the fly. They could fix a broken heart with duct tape. This version also has a coaxial 7.62mm M240 with 3,400 rounds and a 12.7mm M2 with 400 more. Just imagine what Ukrainian crews could do with one of these. The US has 134 of them in storage, headed not for Ukraine, but the scrapyard. Hey, if you've got a friend who knows a guy who delivers coffee to someone in the White House, tell him to whisper to the president. This is a win-win. Great press and a huge help for Ukraine. Cost? $0 and 0 cents. There's also the M1296 Stryker Dragoon, a souped-up version with a beastly 30mm Mark 44 cannon, designed for US forces in Europe. Not seen in this war yet. Ukraine does have German Marders with 20mm Rheinmetall Mark 20 cannons. Their strength isn't just the big gun, it's the tracked chassis. That's what Stryker lacks. But here's what happened in the Kharkiv offensive. The Strykers did pretty well. We had Marders too, but they couldn't handle the long distances. Other Ukrainian troops still speak highly of the Marder. You'll find a full episode on it here on our channel. Contradictions? Not really. Every vehicle is designed to be a one-size-fits-all solution for combat. Time and fate decide whether it actually works. The Marder seems ready for anything, but it struggles with range. The Stryker, on the other hand, has full-wheel drive and a rugged 350 horsepower Caterpillar diesel engine that can handle long hauls. It can even tow, thanks to that powertrain, but it falters in harsh off-road terrain. So which one's more versatile? That's up to you. Drop a comment. Which ICV would you buy for your army, Stryker or Marder? Or suggest your own dream ride. Thanks for watching. Let's go. Move, move.